What's up, CEOs? It is time for Auto Dealer Startup Training. If you're watching this right now, then you are watching a replay. Type replay because it does give me an idea of like who's watching. I get a chance to like sort of get to know you, like see your name. And then that way, when you email me or you comment on the video, then I'm like, okay, like we got a connection. So type replay in the comments if you're watching the replay while we wait for some people to come on. Today, I am going to be talking about beginner auto dealer success tips. So this is kind of about what I feel like I did right in the beginning. I talk a lot about what I did wrong and I did a lot of things wrong. Okay, let's just be fair. But I also did some things right. And I think being on this side of the game, I'm starting to realize that one, you have to celebrate your wins and you have to like pat yourself on the back when you do something well. And then you have to also understand when you do something well because you need to duplicate it. You need to do that again. Okay. So when I was thinking about that, I said to myself, well, I need to let people know what I actually did right because these are some things I think you should do right too. All right. So let me see. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? And I haven't seen, I'm not sure if everything is working right. Hear me. And hopefully everything is working right. I'm going to just keep rolling. And because I haven't seen any comments or anything, but let me know when you come in. Say, hey, what's up? Let me know where you're from. Okay. So let me introduce myself. I'm Shamel Leonard, and I'm the founder of the Auto Dealer Business School, where we help beginning auto dealers to sell used cars, quality used cars now for great profits to happy customers to make at least $100,000 or more, right? In 12 months or less, really. That's the goal because the quicker you can get to your first six figures, the more successful you will be in your business because success is measured by time and also wealth is as well. So we're trying to get you to your first six figures right away. And everything that I teach you, I have tested and gone through myself and analyzed and revamped and optimized to make it the very best that it can be to help you run your business. It is what I use to run my business and what I'm using to bring my business to $1 million or more a year, bring my dealership to $1 million or more a year. So, yeah, we're growing. Shout out to the new members that just joined. I didn't ask you before I started this video if I could share, but hopefully you come on today. But shout out to the new Six Figure Dealer Club members. Hey, what's up, Ulysses? Good morning. And yeah, we're doing some big things, some conferences. Um, we have an NIADA collaboration coming up soon, which is the National Independent Auto Dealer Association, not to be confused with NADA, which is National Auto Dealer Association, right? And yeah, it's growing. I don't want to take too much time on that part, but I do want to let you know where you are and that you're in a good room with the information that I'm about to give. Okay, so I do want to let you know too that we have a sales challenge going on in the Six Figure Dealer Club. Now, I did open up the sales challenge to everyone. You must be a licensed dealer. But what the sales challenge is basically to push you to sell more and to get your momentum going if you haven't gotten your momentum already in your business. Like the most important thing is to get going, get started, and then you can edit later. So hopefully you join the sales challenge. I'll put the link in the description so that you can join, right, and get what you need. I'm going to be prepping you for some things you need to do to start. And yeah, let's get started selling these cars, okay? Ulysses, can you hear me? And whoever else is on, please let me know who you are and that you're here and that you can hear me, all right? Okay, because I'm about to go right into the beginner auto dealer success tips, okay? So I want to start with some of the things that I did right in the beginning that really helped to sustain me, to be honest, and to keep the business going was one, I got my DMS from the very beginning, from the start. Before my very first deal, I got my DMS. And if you don't know what DMS is, it's dealer management software. Okay. And it is the software that helps you manage your inventory. So when inventory comes in and inventory goes out, it tracks all of that information, the car, the numbers associated with the car, like how much you bought it for, how much you put in it, right? And then all the stuff that goes out, like the sale, who you sold it to, how much you sold it for, the terms, the paperwork, etc. Okay, and everything you need for the sale. So I got that DMS from the start, and that alleviated a lot of worries and a lot of tasks as well, that optimize the business from the very beginning, because that's what it's there to do, is to optimize. It is there to help you to eliminate some of the steps in that whole buying and selling process. And the DMS that I have now also kind of taps into helping with the recon process as well. So I encourage you to get a DMS from the start. If you've already started and you don't have a DMS, I encourage you to get a DMS right now. Dealer Center has partnered with Auto Dealer Business School to provide you a 90-day free trial. Unheard of, okay? Nobody is out here giving a 90-day free trial. You might get 30 days, but let's just be real. 30 days goes by so fast, especially when you're trying to build a business and live life. 90 days is much more doable because you can take some time to get used to it, learn, play around. You can even sell a car during the trial. Okay. So I'll put the link in the description for that, because what I'm basically saying is you need that in your life, especially if you are selling cars, no matter what kind of cars. If you are licensed and you're selling cars, you need a DMS so that you can optimize your business. Okay. So that was the first thing that I did, was I got the DMS from the start, and that answered a lot of questions that I didn't even know I had. Okay. So that's number one. Number two is I also got a diagnostic machine from the start. Okay. And I meant to bring it up and show you. But what I mean is, yes, I'm talking about a code reader, but I'm talking about the like the big, it's a diagnostic machine. It is the machine that can reprogram computers. It can program, well, this one can't do everything that my first one did, but it could program keys. It could do all kinds of things, like not only read the codes but also read data, so you could really get into like what's the problem with the vehicles, okay, and what's going on. And that helped to save a lot of money and time at the beginning, because I basically had in-house diagnostic, which is a cost. Like, you take your vehicles anywhere, they charge you for that diagnostic, and then they charge you for all the things that you do, that they do to fix the vehicle, that involve the diagnostic machine. So from the very beginning, I got the big old diagnostic machine, right? It's like, this bit is like a tablet, okay? And you carry it around like that, okay? In addition to code readers. So I always had code readers, but also had the diagnostic machine, which really helped to get a lot of cars back on the road, right? When things happen. So that was number two. And number three was in-house recon. um so this is not something I did on purpose. I didn't think about where I wanted my recon operations to be. I just didn't even know to think that. Do I want them to be in-house, or do I want it to be outsourced, right? By default, I chose in-house because it was the easiest thing, closest, lowest cost. I had the most control over that. So, but I realized that that was actually a good thing, especially with the kind of cars that I was selling, to have an in-house recon system or operations, right? Because it allowed me all those things I just said, the control, the lower cost, so when business was great, I could beef up operations. When business was not, or business was like slowing down, then in-house recon didn't have as much going on, right? But it was in-house, so I didn't have to worry about what it would cost me. Right? I could control the cost, and that was important to me in the beginning because the cost was the scariest part. Was like, I can't have these costs getting out of hand. So, in-house recon. And if you're wondering what in-house recon is basically just putting together your recon team that you manage, okay? And that you control where they recon and who recons. So, that's something that I hope you set up in the Six Figure Dealer Club that is actually, what we help you to do in your operations is set up in-house recon. And it makes sense only in a couple of markets to have in-house recon, okay? And that's my next point is that the one thing I think I did right from the beginning that I didn't even know about, it was like accidentally a good choice, was I niched and I chose cash cars as a niche. So because I chose cash cars, in-house recon made sense. Now, if I had chosen luxury vehicles, then outsourcing recon would make sense. Okay. So I want you to be clear. I want to be clear to you that it depends on what your niche is and what your model is for your profits. All right. So let me know if you have any questions. Hey, Joni, because I do just want to get through this to make sure you get these points. But do let me know if you have any questions. I know I'm going through a lot of information, but I want you to know some of the things that you really need to do in the beginning that are very, very important. Okay, so the cash car niche from the very beginning. Now, I accidentally chose cash cars because of my budget. My budget wouldn't allow me to buy other inventory in the beginning. So I had to buy the cheapest inventory to be able to start my business, and that was cash cars. And I was comfortable though with cash cars because I feel like I had, learned a lot along the way about cash cars and what makes them break down. I've always been into cars. I know I've said that before, but I've always been into cars. I even changed my brakes once until I realized, what my time was worth, right? Way back in the day. But I did change my brakes once. And, I've always paid attention to what goes wrong and what are the fixes, what needs to be fixed, how do cars, move together, go together. So I'm saying all this to say that I felt comfortable with cash cars. It was like the lowest hanging fruit for me. It didn't have, a whole lot of tech then. And so you could just really deal with the mechanics, right? And so, but now I'm all about the tech too. So I got it. I'm like, up in my game, right? So, yeah, cash cars as a niche, was a good decision. So what I would take from this step is and I say this all the time, is you need to niche. You need to find one product that you sell, that you put out into your market, because that way you learn your market, you cater to your market, you can systemize that marketing, you can systemize that profit center for your business, because that's what it ends up being, as a profit center, because you have niche and you have one product, okay, and you have one kind of customer that buys that product, so you can really optimize that part of your business. So whatever it is, whatever niche it is, right? I've met people who have all kinds of niches, and it's never ending. So find something that you can, jump into wholeheartedly, that you can learn your customers and that you can learn your product. Okay. For me, that was cash cars. For you, figure out what that is. Okay. And then I think the fifth thing I did right in the beginning, and let me know if you have any questions. Okay, please let me know. You all are pretty quiet this morning. But I want to say the fifth thing I feel like I did right in the beginning was to be always buying. Okay, yes, I said be always buying. You have to always buy. You have to be in constant acquisition mode. And I don't want to say that it's like you're always working or you're always on your job. You have to enjoy that part. Now, I enjoy that part. I enjoy the deal making part, right? So, Yeah, always buying is something that comes naturally to me. I'm always seeing cars somewhere or solving problems for people. So I'll go in a space or a place and someone is trying to sell their car. Well, I'm trying to buy it. Let's work this deal out. And I think that that attitude really helped to keep the business going, coupled with the attitude that I would go to the auction and say to myself, like, you are not in business if you don't have any cars to sell, so you got to buy some cars. And making myself buy cars, and not just making myself buy anything, but keeping going from auction to auction to auction until I find cars that I can buy. You have to be in that mode, that acquisition mode, because inventory is key to your business. You are an inventory based business. So if you have no inventory, then sales can be low. Okay. There are other things that you can do. Like, I know auto brokers are out there getting the customer first, and then buying the car, right? So that's being more service based, selling the service of your car service, selling the car service, right? But for everyone who has the car first and then sells, you need inventory. Okay. So you have to always be buying. If you're not buying, you are not selling. And it's just as easy as that. So, any questions about that? Okay, I don't have my license yet, but my hubby is always running across the deals now. Okay, there are a couple of people in the Six Figure Dealer Club who are not licensed yet, and one guy just bought a van because we were talking about it, and I said, yes, buy the van. Like, every time you come across something, buy it. Good morning, Corvette D. Come across, because deals are going to come to you. Buy those vehicles, figure out where you're going to recon those vehicles, and put those vehicles there, and you can start the recon process while you get your license. Okay, you can have cars for sale as soon as you are approved. That is actually a great way to start. Okay, so yes, buy those cars, buy every car you can, because if there's anything that we've learned from this time in the auto industry, is we never thought inventory would be scarce. I know I didn't. I never thought that that would be an issue, that it would be difficult to buy cash car inventory. I never thought that. But then or used cars. But then this happened, and it was like, oh, okay, you have to always have multiple ways to get your inventory, period. Because if the auctions close down, then what? So you got to build up other ways to get inventory. So, any other questions? While I wait for questions, let me just run through real quick what the points were. Um, Point number one, beginner auto dealer success tip number one: get your DMS from the start. Tip number two, if you are having in-house recon, get a diagnostic machine. And I do want to add that we are going to offer the diagnostic machines in the Six Figure Dealer Club very soon. I don't have all the details because I'm working out that deal with the company to see how we can make that happen. But we are going to start including that with the program, because after I did this analysis, I realized that that was something that I did right. So that is something that I need to include in the Six Figure Dealer Club. Okay. So that was tip number two, the diagnostic machine from the start. Not just the code reader, but the big thingy, right? The tablet thing. In-house recon, if it makes sense for your inventory. Okay. So you can control costs. Tip number four is to niche and pick one product to sell. What I mean by products, cash cars, third party financing, those are two different products. Okay, luxury cars, that's a third product. So pick one product to sell. And then the fifth tip is always be buying, always make a deal. Okay, the plan is to sell a couple and then get a very small commercial space. Okay, all right. That sounds like a good plan. So yeah, let me know how I can help you with that. Are you selling a couple as not a licensed dealer, or once you get your license? Just trying to understand what you're trying to do. And if you want to talk about it more too, Joni, I'm inviting you to schedule a strategy session with me. I know that I had no appointments for a while. Okay. Look, I told you things are moving. It's, Auto Dealer Business School is growing. So I have freed up some time on my calendar. I found some extra time. So you can definitely schedule a strategy session if you want some insight on if your plan is a viable plan or if it'll work and what things you can add to your plan to make sure it is successful. Okay. Okay, Jenny, you want to do a couple before the license. Okay, yes, I think that that's a great idea. You're not going to get as much profit because you will have to, unless you are doing it the other kind of way. But if you're doing it the right way, it will cut into your profit a bit. um so I would love to talk more with you about that on during a strategy session. Yes, the strategy session link is on the website, but I will also put it in the description for this video, so you can come back to this video in a couple of minutes and see the link and schedule the strategy session. Okay, I'm also going to have the link there for the DMS, the Dealer Center Dealer Management Software 90-day free trial. Okay, so I'll have that there. I also have the link for you to sign up for the sales push for everyone who is licensed and who is not selling cars. If you feel like you're not selling cars, you're not selling enough cars, or you just can't get the momentum, you haven't sold any cars. If this is you, then join the sales challenge. It's time to start selling cars. You got the license, make it make money. If it don't make money, it don't make sense. Okay. Hey, Santos, good to see you. All right. So again, congratulations to the new members of the Six Figure Dealer Club. I'll announce the names once I get, permission to do so. And I look forward to talking with you if you schedule a strategy session, and hopefully I see you in the sales challenge so that we can get some more sales and some more money. All right, so that is all I have, unless you all have some questions. Let me know if you have some questions while I say goodbye. But now, right? Next week, I'm actually going to bring on um, a, a member of the Six Figure Dealer Club to talk to you about his journey so far. Okay, so he is not finished, but I realized that it'd be good for you to hear from someone who is going through it and what they are experiencing. So join next week for that. And as always, I am praying for your success. I am, but prayers alone is not enough. Okay, prayers with works, right, is where it's at. So when you are ready, I am here. So let me know and let's get this going. And I will see you next week. Bye.